is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Today it is getaway day in New York as the Tigers play the New York Yankees and wrap up the final leg of their three-city tour on this road trip, and things are starting to tighten up in the American League Central Division. The Tigers right now own a 3.5 game lead over KC, and Cleveland 6.5 back in the division. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pepper, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us here as the Tigers wrap up this series in search of a split now after losing last night, Rod, and that certainly is something the ball club needs to get before they head to Toronto.
Well, one of the things they're going to have to do, they're going to have to do a better job today with runners in scoring position. Yes, you can give some of that credit to the New York Yankees starters and their bullpen pieces, but they've got to do a much better job.
All right, let's talk about those bats because they have been relatively quiet. Miguel Cabrera is out of the lineup today, scheduled day off, but really with men in scoring position in this series, the Tigers have not gotten it done.
Well, they've pressed a little bit for me. I mean, the Yankees have a pretty good staff. They've got some guys in the bullpen and that can strike out a lot of people. As a matter of fact, their bullpen has struck out more than any in the American League, but 3 for 20 is not going to get it done. What I've noticed in the three-game series here, they are starting to press a little bit when there are runners on the base pass, and that's very unusual for a team that has as many veterans on it that the Tigers do. You mentioned Miggy not in there, but they also have a lot of other guys that are capable of driving in runs.
Well, the Tigers have gotten some really good starting pitching in this series. Rick Porcello's turn today. We know he's a guy that has pitched to a lot of contact, gets a lot of the ground ball double plays, but in his last start, 10 big punch-outs against the Rockies.
Porcello probably has been the most consistent starter in the Tigers' rotation if you go from the beginning of the season until right now. There has been flashes of brilliance from other guys, but you're talking about a guy that's got a smooth delivery, very clean delivery. You don't ever hear Jeff Jones talking about tweaking this or tweaking that as far as Rick Porcello is concerned. He's averaging nearly 1.4 ground balls for every 9 innings. And you mentioned last time out against the Colorado Rockies, he had 10 strikeouts in that game. He had a plus-plus changeup, outstanding breaking ball, kept the ball out of the middle of the plate. Ricky Porcello this year has given the Tigers a legitimate chance to win every single time he has been out there.
All right, some changes for the Yankees in their lineup as well today. Derek Jeter will not play. However, Jacoby Ellsbury will. He's had a really good series and had a pretty good year so far this year.
Well, they're counting on Jacoby. That much is for sure. They gave him a real nice contract when they were able to get him from the Boston Red Sox, their hated rival. He really hasn't produced all that well this year if you look at his overall numbers in his career, but he's gotten it going here against the Tigers. He came in very, very cold, but he's been spraying the ball all around the field here in this series, and he also makes really nice plays defensively. 1,000 games minimum played, .995 fielding percentage for Jacoby Ellsbury. That is tops in Major League history. So he's a pretty good player. He's been an outstanding performer. Tigers will have to slow down Jacoby today.
All right, Tigers trying to get the split in this 4-game series here before they head to Toronto. Game 4 coming up in just minutes, but right now back to the Coliseum Studios we go, and John Keating. is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. By Dodge, hurry in and get a great deal during the Dodge Summer Clearance Event. And by True Moo Ice Cream and Chocolate Milk, a truly good thing. And we welcome you back to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. The Tigers and the New York Yankees wrapping up this 4-game series here. Mario and Peppa, Ron Allen, glad you are with us here this afternoon. The Tigers trying to get the split. Rajai Davis back in the leadoff slot again for the Tigers. Their starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Davis in the leadoff slot. Ezekiel Carrera batting second and playing at center field. Kinsler hitting third tonight. And then Victor Martinez, the DH. J.D. Martinez at right. Don Kelly will spell Miguel Cabrera at first base. Castellanos, Avila, and Romine are your bottom three for Detroit. And they are facing the young right-hander by the name of Shane Green.
Green's got pretty good stuff. He's got a power fastball. Fastball will get all the way up to 96 miles an hour. He has a slider, a changeup, and also a curveball. He is depth on right-handers. Right-handers hitting him at a 213 clip, and he's only given up one extra base hit to a right-handed batter so far in his 6 starts. Tim Hortons will sponsor the defensive alignment for the New York Yankees this afternoon. Up the middle in the infield, they've got Drew and Ryan. Derek Jeter not in the starting lineup. Chase Headley, he is over at first base. His second career start at first base, and both in this series. Prado at third, Gardner, Ellsbury, Suzuki in the outfield, and Cervelli getting his first start behind the plate this afternoon.
So Chase Headley, who's been doing great work at third base, is now at first base today with Mark Teixeira out of their lineup. He injured his finger sliding into home plate last night, scoring a run. So they will lose something defensively at first base with Headley, but we'll see how that plays out in this one today.
Tigers need to get ready to hit the fastball. The Yankees have kind of overpowered them in the first 3 games of this series with fastballs. Although in last night's game, Capuano had that outstanding changeup where he got quite a few strikeouts. But Green, he will come at them with a power fastball.
Shane Green is 25 years of age, born in Florida, and he is ready to go to work. So are we. The first pitch of today's game is low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes on Rajai Davis. The Tigers, by and large, have not done a whole lot offensively in this series. Rajai is just 1 for 11. He looks at a strike, and the count evens now 1 ball and 1 strike. Glorious afternoon here for baseball in the Bronx. Sunny skies. And the 1-1 is swung out and missed. 1-2 on Rajai. Green in search of his 3rd win of the season. He's been up and down this year between the big leagues and the minor leagues. And there is strike 3, and he gets off to a nice start today as he catches Davis looking.
The Tigers need, as I mentioned, to get ready for the hard stuff. Green does not throw a curveball, therefore everything is hard. That was a cut fastball right there at 89 miles an hour. He has a slider that's a little bit less in velocity of that particular pitch to cutter, and the 4-seamer gets all the way up to 96.
Ezekiel Carrera's had a pretty good series, 3 for 8. He's had a double and a tremendous catch in game 1 in this series out in center, and he sends a bouncing ball back up the middle. On the charge is Drew. His throw gets him by a step.
Stephen Drew. You know, the Yankees don't miss a beat with Derek Jeter not being at shortstop. As a matter of fact, they've got more range at the shortstop position with Drew manning that position this afternoon. He had been playing second base since they acquired him from the Boston Red Sox. Outstanding defender is Stephen Drew.
Yankees without Jeter in the lineup today, along with McCann and Teixeira. They are both out as well. Here is Ian Kinsler now with 2 outs. Kinsler batting .285. And he also has been slowed in the series, just 1 for 13 with 1 RBI. And Green pumps in a strike, 0-1. 94 on that fastball from the young right-hander. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Kinsler takes it inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Tigers' second baseman, batting in the 3 slot in this one with Cabrera out of the lineup today. It's a scheduled day off for Miggy. The 1-1 pitch. 1-2. So Shane Green attacking early in this game. Tigers have 2 outs, nobody on. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And a really good first inning for the right-hander Shane Green. A couple of punch-outs. Rick Porcello on the mound for the Tigers in this one. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Porcello looking for his 14th win this year against 5 losses. 318 earned run average, 88 strikeouts, 30 walks, a 245 batting average against Porcello when he's on, and he's been on mostly all year. You can expect a lot of ground balls in the infield.
Here's the starting lineup for the Yankees, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. New York has Brett Gardner leading it off at left field, followed by Prado and Ellsbury. Beltran batting cleanup, then Headley and Drew, Cervelli, Ichiro, and Ryan. The bottom 3 here this afternoon for Joe Girardi. And Brett Gardner starting things off now, 3 for 12 in the series. He has scored a couple of runs. Batting .283 for the Yanks. Porcello goes to work. And he misses high, 1 ball, no strikes. Gardner has shown power this year in the leadoff slot, 15 home runs. That is a career high for the Yankees left fielder. Rick ready with the 1-0. Lifted in the air. Shallow center field. Ezequiel Carrera is there, 1 gone.
Let's set the Tigers defensive alignment for you while we have a moment here. Carrera's in center field, Davis in left, J.D. Martinez in right. Castellanos, Romine, Kinsler, Kelly in the infield. 21st start for Don Kelly at first base. He's only made 10 miscues over there.
Here's Martin Prado.
Expect the Yankees to swing early and often today against Porcello. His MO has been throwing a lot of strikes and a lot of first pitch strikes, especially this year, and he doesn't walk a lot of people. So they'll be swinging at the first strike they see.
Prado's had 3 hits in the series. And you've had him playing all over the place. He's played right, playing third. He can play really any infield position and has played any infield position.
That's one of the reasons why the Yankees are carrying 13 pitchers, because of the versatility of a guy like Prado who can play everywhere. No need to carry 12 men on the staff and carry that extra player you're not going to use all that often.
And a lot of times when you have a guy that can play multiple positions, he may not be very good at 1 or 2 of them, but they say that Prado can play all the positions on the infield really pretty well. And the infield and the outfield as well.
He can hit. Doesn't strike out very often.
Now the 0-2. He'll slice this one in the air to right center field. J.D. Martinez hauls it in, 2 gone.
Well, so far, Porcello is flipping the script this afternoon. Usually gets tons of ground balls. First couple of outs of this contest in the air.
2 up, 2 down for Jacoby Ellsbury. Porcello has a chance today to become the league's first 14-game winner. Max Scherzer, his teammate, has 13 as well. There's a ball outside to Ellsbury.
I know we're going to see him on Sunday, but Burley, boy, it looked like he was going to win about 25 games this year. He's been slowed down.
He has. I mean, he was at the top of the list all season long.
When we saw them, 2 months ago, he had 10 wins.
Right. There's a pop-up in the air to left field, and it's routine for Davis. And it's a bit of a different look for Porcello. 3 fly ball outs, but they go 1, 2, 3. We played 1 here in the Bronx. No scores. Player of the game selections presented by McDonald's new triple cheeseburger for just $2 this afternoon. I'm going with the starting pitcher, Rick Porcello.
I've got JD today. He's in right field.
And Ian Kinsler is the selection of Trevor Thompson. Those are our picks for Tigers player of the game. And so we've got Martinez, and Kelly coming up here in the second. Victor will bat first, then JD. And then Kelly. Quick inning and an easy inning for both starters, Green and Porcello. Green struck out 2 in the first. And he'll go to work now against Victor Martinez. He really is one of the few Tigers that has done anything offensively in this series. The Tigers as a team batting just .173 in the first 3 games. Not Victor, though. He's got 5 hits in 12 at bats. Green's first pitch sails outside on the fastball. 1 ball, no strikes.
Usually when you see teams employ this type of shift, when Victor Martinez is standing in the batter's box, the third baseman goes from third base to shallow right field. In this case, Prado has gone to the second base position, and Ryan has gone into shallow right field.
Meanwhile, Martinez bouncing out for the first out here in the second.
I guess that points back to the comment that you just made on Prado, that he can literally play anywhere in the infield and is comfortable. There are a lot of managers out there that do not like to really move guys around and by taking the second baseman, putting him in the outfield, moving the shortstop to second base, and then moving the third base to the shortstop, because you got a lot of guys playing out of position.
It's much simpler that way. We see Castellanos go from third to short right field typically, and that means only one guy is out of position as opposed to two or three. Here's J.D. Martinez in there for a strike. 0-1.
A nice little slider there thrown by Green. He goes slider, fastball, cutter. Doesn't like his changeup very often. As a matter of fact, Tigers hitters don't even need to look for the changeup today.
This is the fourth separate stint now in the big leagues for the right-hander. Down in the minor leagues at AAA was 5-2. 1 ball, 1 strike. He kind of worked himself into prospect status. He was a 15th round selection a few years back with the Yankees in 09, but had a really good year last year in the minors. That is pulled to third and caught on the backhand by Prado. 2 up, 2 down. Well, Headley was playing a sparkling third base earlier in the series. Now Prado makes a nice play.
Yeah, Tigers hitters need to try a different position.
So 5 straight retired by Shane Green. Here's Don Kelly getting a start at first base today. Kelly at 255. Cabrera getting a day off this afternoon. And Brad Ausmus said that at some point on this road trip he did have a scheduled day off for Miggy, and that day is today. The 0-1 sails inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been a disappointing past couple of days for the Tigers. They've gotten some great pitching efforts, yet they've lost 2 of the first 3. Let's foul back 1-2.
Especially coming on the heels of the anticipated debut of David Price, and also what they were able to do against the Colorado Rockies before they left Detroit.
David Price did not disappoint. The 1-2 pulled on the ground and through. That is a base hit for the Tigers. First of the ball game for either team. 2-out single by Don Kelly.
Don Kelly took an off-speed pitch that was outside, and because the velocity was low on the off-speed pitch, able to pull it past Chase Headley, the first baseman.
Nick Castellanos is 1 for 9 in the series, batting .256. First time Green has pitched from the stretch, and it's fouled off 0-1.
When the Tigers' bats go cold, they go stone cold. Not just 1 or 2 guys gets chilly, but it seems like the entire team cools off.
Well, Davis has, Kinsler has. Miggy certainly cool in this series, although he's not playing today. J.D. has struggled in the series. So your point well taken, up and down the lineup. 0-1 the count. And that is in for a strike. Now it's 0-2 on Castellanos. A couple of Florida natives facing each other here. Shane Green hails from Claremont, Florida, 6'4", 210, 25 years old.
He's already thrown quite a few really good cut fastballs. That last pitch to J.D. Martinez, Castellanos, was a cut fastball at 86.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball up there, and that's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Green. No runs and a hit, 1 man left on our way to the bottom of the 2nd at Yankee Stadium. In the finale at Yankee Stadium, time now for the Bernstein advantage. That belongs to Rick Porcello over his last 8 starts, a 5-1 record, an ERA of under 2, and the opponent's batting average with runners in scoring position minuscule. Flat out dominant. And now Porcello will face Carlos Beltran, who starts it off, and he takes strike 1. Kind of odd to see Porcello go 1-2-3 with 3 fly ball outs, but that's what he did in the first.
That is not the norm for him.
They play the shift on for Beltran, and the 0-1. That's in there, 0-2.
Porcello has a real nice, clean, easy delivery. One thing that we've never really heard Jeff Jones say anything regarding Porcello since he's been in the big leagues is they're tweaking something. They're working on this, an arm slot or this. But this guy's got a great delivery. That's why he makes every start.
And he got him looking. Strike 3. Beltran never took the bat off his shoulder.
Three pitches. See you later. Nice little two-seam fastball right over the heart of the plate. Here's that delivery of Porcello. Gets to a real nice balanced position, allows the arm to catch up, and because he gets to that high 3/4 arm slot, he's able to get a real good sink on his two-seamer.
Rick had 10 strikeouts in his last start. He has his first here today, and he pumps in a strike to Chase Headley.
He's really improved this year against left-handed batters. Coming into the season, left-handers have had their way in Porcello's career batting average at 300. But not so much this year. He's been really good against lefties.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. Tigers will shift a lot of these left-handers for the Yankees. Headley is not one of them. He is being played straight up. Chased 3 out of 12 of the series. He has a home run. It was a big one against JV in last night's ball game. And a foul at the plate. Vila unable to hold on, and the count stays 0-2 on Headley.
Here's those numbers that we were referring to on Porcello and just how good he's been against lefties this year. Lefties hitting him at .235 because of the improvement on the curveball and the changeup.
Wasn't really long ago that Headley had an MVP type season back in 2012 with San Diego. He was 5th in the MVP voting that year. The Yankees are hopeful that he can regain some of that form because he wasn't swinging the bat all that well prior to the trade, just .229 with the Padres. But they know what's in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he flies this one in the air toward left. Davis coming over toward the line. 2 gone. Send it down to the field now as we check in with Trevor Thompson.
Mario, Don Kelly's filling in for Miguel Cabrera at first base today, and he said because of how good a first baseman Miggy is and because of how good a first baseman Victor Martinez is when he plays there, it forces him to raise his game. He takes his defense at first very seriously. Now, we know he can play all positions on the diamond. He thinks third base is the toughest, right behind catcher, but his favorite position, if he could pick one, center field. He loves to roam around out there when he gets the opportunity, but he's a natural shortstop. That was the position he played as a kid. But this guy, Donnie Do-It-All, can play anywhere you need him, and today he's at first. Back to you.
All right, Trev. Donnie Do-It-All. That's pretty good.
That's the first time we've heard that.
Yeah, I mean, that might have to stick. Don Kelly, like Martin Prado, can play all over the field. So a couple of guys in this game. They're very versatile. Meanwhile, 2 balls and no strikes to count on Stephen Drew, who's batting with 2 outs. Drew is 0 for 8 in the series. He is at shortstop today. Derek Jeter gets the day off. Now the 2-0. Heading back toward the seats. Castellanos leaning in, but he just can't quite get there. 2-1. He's got a 2-run homer in his career against Porcello, the only hit he has had in 4 official at-bats. Drew, in the early days of his career with the Arizona Diamondbacks, showed good power, was a pretty good hitter long ago with his glove.
He's a former #1 draft choice of the Arizona Diamondbacks back in 2004.
In just a few years after that, in 2008, he hit 21 home runs for Arizona. Batting here with 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the second, no score. A bit of a breezy afternoon here today in New York. And he got him, strike 3. Porcello has another 1, 2, 3 inning. That's his second punch out of the ball game. So we'll go to the third, no score. Tigers baseball today presented by Belt Tire.
Show you this video, but apparently Avila loves August 5th. He homered last year on August 5th. This was in Cleveland. Big home run for the Tigers, propelled them to victory. You can see how happy that bench is. And he also did it on Tuesday in the 12th inning here at the new Yankee Stadium. That was a deciding home run in that game. The only game the Tigers have won in the series.
Definitely a key blow for the Tigers. It'll be Avila leading things off here as we go to the top of the third. It's Avila, Romine, and then Rajay Davis facing the right-hander Shane Green. Alex 2 out of 9 in the series as he strolls to the plate. Another good crowd here at Yankee Stadium. They've had really good crowds in the first 3 games in the series, better than 40,000 in each of the first 3 games. Avila batting .220. He has hit 8 home runs. He just saw his 8th a couple of nights ago, leading the Tigers to an extra inning win. And Green works at home and misses low, 1-0. Avila's knocking 31 this season. Got a breather in last night's game as Holiday caught. Alex back out there for the day game today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A little bit outside. 2 balls, no strikes on the Tigers catcher.
Alex caught all 12 innings of that game on Tuesday night here.
Now Green's 2-0 pitch. Avila will take. It's in there, a strike. Shane Green played his college ball at the University of West Florida and Daytona State College. Mentioned a 15th round pick a few years back of the Yanks. Missed again, and the count goes to 3-1 on Avila.
We've got a couple of right-handers on the mound today in Green and Porcello that have really good sinkers. Green throws his a little bit harder. His is 94 miles an hour. Porcello's right around 91, but both have late action on them.
3-1 pitch. Missed it inside. Leadoff man on. Tigers get a walk from Avila. Their second base runner of the ball game. It's going to bring up Romine. Tigers still without a couple of guys that are banged up. That would be Eugenio Suarez. Thought that he might have a chance to play today. Suarez was feeling better. And of course, Torrey Hunter is out after being hit by a pitch on the hand a couple of nights ago.
Decent series for Romine. 3 for 10 with a home run, a double. He scored a couple of runs.
And for a guy that really has watched his playing time be cut dramatically with the addition of Suarez, he's acquitted himself quite well here. He came on in game 1 after the injury to Suarez.
Makes all the plays defensively and pretty much has done that all year.
Here's the 1-0. Runner goes, and a chopper that is going to roll foul. Avila was on the move.
We told you he had a home run in this series. It came a couple of nights ago, and here's a look at it on Tuesday night. Short porch in right field. He now has bragging rights over his brother, and we told you last night his brother Austin is playing in AAA right now and for the Yankees, but he has had some at-bats in the big leagues, and he's never homered in the new Yankee Stadium, but his brother Andrew has.
Well, those bragging rights continue. 1 ball, 1 strike. By the way, thanks for bringing up Austin, Romine, because it took me at least 2 to 3 weeks for me not to call Andrew Austin for some reason. And now you've got that in my head again.
I'm sorry.
And then we used Kevin Romine last night, their dad. So there's a whole lot of Romines going around.
You're good like that. You don't make those kinds of minor mistakes.
Do you listen?
Absolutely.
1-2 on Romine.
They just gave you an award.
I think they just felt sorry for me. There's a bouncer back up the middle. This has double play written all over it. And here comes the relay from Ryan, and it is a twin killing. 6-4, 3-2 gone. So another ground ball by Green. This one comes in handy.
Well, that's why Brad Ausmus put the hit and run on 2 pitches ago. And he wanted to try to stay out of the double play with Avila running at first, but that good sinker ball by Green able to get the double play ball off the bat of Andrew Romine.
Here's Rajai Davis. He struck out to start the ball game. And Davis now 1 for 12 in the series. Rajai batting .296. He looks at a strike, 0-1.
Rajai Davis was simply on fire in the 3-game series against the Colorado Rockies. He got Monday night off here in New York. He pinch hit very late in that game and struck out, and has been stone cold ever since.
Baseball can be a cruel game, can't it? I mean, you get
he was
on
locked
a streak. He was. I mean, they couldn't get him out. 0-2. Well, even with the slump, he still looks good with those sunglasses. I like the one. The 0-2 is a bouncing ball to third, scooped up there by Prado. He's going to take care of the Tigers in the third. No runs, no hits, a walk, nobody left. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. We have the meats. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Probably couldn't ask for a better day here in August in the Bronx. We're at Yankee Stadium. Gorgeous afternoon, and so far so good for both starting pitchers, Porcello and Green. And Rick goes back to the hill after retiring 6 in a row to start this contest. So in fact, Rick picked up 2 strikeouts in the second. Francisco Cervelli will lead it off. Cervelli, Suzuki, Ryan in the bottom of the third. Showing bunt. He looks at a strike on the outer edge, 0-1.
And Porcello's already gotten 6 outs in the game, and none of those on the ground. 4 flyouts, 2 strikeouts.
Cervelli batting .299, 10 for his last 25. Spelling McCann today, who gets the day off. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cervelli. Cervelli has 1 home run this year. Injured early in the season. In fact, he missed 55 games with a hamstring injury. Now Rick ready with the 1-1. Bouncing ball. There's your first ground ball. Romine has it. And Cervelli is out. 1 away. Time for a game break now. To the studio we go with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Well, you know what? Many were talking about the fact that maybe KC ought to consider selling at the trading deadline because they were just kind of spinning their wheels. Butler was struggling.
Didn't they lose Hosmer, too?
They lost Hosmer. And so they're thinking, well, maybe it's not our year, but, man, they've started to catch fire a little bit now.
They pitch. And if you pitch as well as they pitch, you're always going to have a chance to win games.
Ichiro, the batter, 1 for 4 in this series. He steps away from ball 2. 2-0 the count on Suzuki. Ichiro has also stolen a bag. Over 2,800 hits stateside, and when you combine his numbers in Japan and the major leagues, over 4,000 hits. He's popped up, headed back to the seats, and out of play. Been quite a career for Ichiro, who made 10 straight All-Star games when he got to the big leagues. MVP, Rookie of the Year his first season. And then he went on a stretch in which it was over 200 hits every single year. Here's the 2-1. They say, Rod, that even with his slight build early on in his big league career, if he wanted to, he could have gone 20-25 homers a season.
There are times if you come to the ballpark early enough and watch him take batting practice, he will simply put on a power display that you would not think he had.
Woo. Look at Romine, but he's not going to have enough to throw him out. Well, Andrew at least gave himself a shot.
Ichiro still runs well. And once Andrew Romine leaves his feet, even though he makes a spectacular play and he gets up in a hurry, difficult time at throwing Ichiro out. Ichiro already 1 step out of the batter's box when he makes contact. But just to finish that thought on Ichiro, he'll simply take batting practice and hit ball after ball after ball very deep into the right field seat. So he does have quite a bit of power.
That'll be the first base hit, first base runner of the game for the Yankees as Brendan Ryan stands in. Got a double in the series, 1 for 3.
Porcello usually does a pretty nice job at slowing down the running game. Ichiro can still run, although he's quite a bit older than when he first came to the big league. Still has decent speed, can still steal your base. But Porcello takes very little time getting the ball to Avila, which would give Avila an opportunity to throw him out if he's in a running mood.
Ryan looks at a strike. Well, Rick would like a ground ball here to get out of this inning. His counterpart, Green, got a double play ball in the top of the third. It's 30 now for Porcello, most of them strikes. The 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes on the number 9 hitting Brendan Ryan, who back in the month of July had a really rough stretch, was 0 for 20. Ryan came in batting .206. Good block by Avila, holding Ichiro at first base. Porcello held the ball a couple of extra beats there. Ichiro tries to measure his lead. Ichiro has 7 steals this year. He's been caught twice. The 1-2 is lifted back out of play. Porcello came into this game with only 1 loss in his last 9 starts, and beyond that, he has been lights out on the road this year. A .273 earned run average away from Comerica Park. He's got 8 wins and 10 decisions on the road. Part of what has been his best major league season, already 13 victories. Here are those home road splits. Not too bad at home either.
And yet, when people start to talk about the Tigers' rotation, very seldom do they even mention Porcello's name.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I mean, there are some heavyweights without question in the rotation. Porcello is now working his way into that category with the season he has put together. Trying to hold Ichiro close at first base. And a ground ball left side. It's going to find a hole barely into the outfield grass. Ichiro will get to second, and now 2 on with 1 out. Well, you talk about a seeing-eye hit.
He made the pitch that he wanted to make. It's a 2-seam fastball inside. He crowded Ryan, and Nick Castellanos couldn't knock it down, couldn't make the play.
First threat of the ball game for the Yankees. We'll bring up the top of the lineup now. Brett Gardner. Gardner flying to center field his first time up. Talk about the Tigers' struggles with men in scoring position in the series. The Yankees are 6 for 20. And a strike called on Gardner. Player of the week last year in the American League, and he hit .478 to earn that honor. Putting together one of his finest seasons as a big leaguer. 15 home runs, 50 RBIs. Good block there by Vila. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's one of the things that, you know, when you look at the entire package of Alex Avila, sometimes things like that get overlooked. His ability to block balls, his ability to keep runners where they are.
He calls a good game, too.
Meanwhile, 1-1 on Gardner. Yankees threatening here in the third, no score. Gardner would have to hit a ball sharply straight at someone to turn a double play. He runs well. Outside, and the count goes 2-1. Scherzer, Price, Verlander all pitched well in starting roles in this series. Porcello trying to follow suit in this game. Maybe more importantly, the Tigers trying to find some offense. Here are the starters the last 2 nights. Verlander last night, Price 2 nights ago, and Max pitched the opener. And the 2-1. Now it's 3-1 on Brett Gardner. Rick Ready with the 3-1. Here it is. Ground ball to second. Kinsler, the second one, relay to first. He got the double play against Brett Gardner. 4-6-3. The 23rd double play turned behind Porcello this season, and this was a big one.
Called up from the minor leagues last week, and if you missed this on Monday night, he made one of the finest catches you'll ever see. Bases were loaded, so the stakes were high. Jacoby Ellsbury bidding for a triple, but Carrera had other thoughts. He ran back and made a spectacular play.
Game-changing tight play, and he's back out there in center field for this one here today. The Tigers, of course, shifting gears a little bit with the trade that brought David Price to Detroit. They gave up Drew Smyly and center fielder Austin Jackson. So we go to the 4th inning on a nice day for baseball here in the Bronx. Tigers wrap up this series here, and then it's on to Canada. We'll be in Toronto the next 3 days over the weekend, taking on the Blue Jays. Carrera starts it off. He'll be followed by Kinsler and then Victor Martinez. It's been a pretty good day so far for Shane Green. Gave up a walk in the 3rd, but then got a double play ball. Carrera bounced out his first time up to the shortstop Drew. Way in tight at 3rd is Martin Prado. Carrera was having a really good season down at AAA. Was an all-star in Toledo. Showed bunt and looks at a strike. 1-1.
When Andy Dirks went down with his back injury in spring training, there was some rumbling, some thought that Carrera would make the team out of spring training, but he was sent down. And as you mentioned, went down and was playing well.
So well, in fact, that he was hitting .307 with 6 home runs. That's part of the game that maybe we don't know too much about. He does have a little pop in that bat.
43 steals in the minors, which paced the International League.
Little chopper back up the middle and fielded by Green, who throws him out. So 1 up and 1 away here in the 4th. Hey, by the way, the Tigers battle the Pittsburgh Pirates on Thursday, August 14th at 1:08. First 10,000 fans receive a free Justin Verlander mini bobblehead. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com and score one of those mini bobbleheads, JD. Here's Ian Kinsler. Verlander relaxing today after a good outing last night. Kinsler looks at a strike, 0-1.
Well, Justin only gave up, what, 2 solo shots last night?
That is it. 1 to Headley and 1 to McCann. Ball is hit well toward left center field. Long run. Ellsbury gets to the warning track to run it down.
Jacoby is one of your better defensive center fielders in all of baseball. He's got great speed to start with. He takes great routes and he gets really good jumps. Made a great play in last night's game, taking a double away from J.D. Martinez.
So with 2 outs here is Victor Martinez.
You really got to step on one if you're going to hit it over that 399 sign in left center field.
Step on one?
Yeah, you do.
399 in left center is a little bit different, isn't it?
That's a big area out there.
Victor bounced out his first time up. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. So with Martinez in the middle of the lineup, Cabrera is out today. They've got Kinsler, Martinez as the 3-4-5.
Which means if you're Green, you really don't have to mess with Victor today. Especially if he comes up with runners in scoring position.
1 ball, 1 strike. There's Cabrera getting the day off. Certainly changes the dynamic of the lineup when Miggy's not in there. 1 for 9 in the series for Miguel.
Well, you wonder if it's coincidence or not, but Miggy last night slid into third base on that wacky play real late in the game, and they had to take a look at him. Brad Ausmus came on the field, but Miggy stayed in the game. So I'm wondering if that's having anything to do with the fact that he chose today to give Miggy the afternoon off.
It could. Sometimes you don't know how a guy's going to feel until the very next day.
One thing about giving guys days off, Brad thinks about it because he played 18 years in the big leagues. He has today off, tonight off, tomorrow afternoon off, and the Tigers don't resume play again until tomorrow night in Toronto. So basically, Miggy getting 2 days off.
Bouncer back up the middle. That's going to find a hole into center field. 2-out single for Victor Martinez.
And Victor hard to strike out, even if you get ahead of him. It's still tough to put him away. It's a 2-seam fastball thrown by Green. This one stayed up long enough for Victor to hit it right back through the middle.
Each ball club now with 2 hits. The only other Tiger hit, the single by Don Kelly. Trying to get J.D. Martinez going. He is 0 for 1. He hit the ball hard his last time, but right at Martin Prado at third. And he backs away from ball 1.
You can kind of see why Green is so good against right-handers. The right-handers came in hitting just .213 against Green. And he's only given up 1 extra base hit, and that came in his last start. Just a few days ago to the Boston Red Sox, he gave up a solo home run to Mike Napoli.
2-0 the count on Martinez.
Left-handers hit .254 against Green.
be outside, and the count goes to 3-0 on J.D. Martinez. Green's start here this afternoon is the 50th made by a Yankees rookie this year. Of course, that includes Tanaka, who's currently on the shelf. He is considered a rookie. And the 3-0. He's taking ball 4. He lost him on 4 straight. He's going to put 2 on now for Detroit. Second walk of the ball game for the right-hander. Now we'll see if the Tigers come up with a 2-out hit here.
This is an area where the Tigers really have struggled in the first 3 games of the series, hitting with runners in scoring position. They haven't gotten many hits. As a matter of fact, looks like they've been pressing a little bit for a team that has a lot of veterans on it. They've kind of pressed in these situations for the last 3 days.
Well, last night I think was a great example in the 8th inning. The Tigers had a couple of runners on, and then Martinez and Castellanos both struck out. Those were huge strikeouts in the 8th.
Something else about that inning? Both guys swung at 3-0 fastball.
Right. Now Green ready with the 0-1. Kelly fouls it back. 0-2 on Don.
The fastball that J.D. Martinez swung at 3-0 was a good pitch to hit. The one that Castellanos swung at was ball 4.
50 now for Shane Green. Two out, 2 on. No score in the 4th. Martinez and Martinez on the bases. Here's the 0-2. Checked it. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Tom Woodring rings him up, and that is all for the Tigers here in the 4th inning. Another strikeout for Green. Tigers lead 2. Streets busy today in New York. No score. Wrapping up this series here in the Bronx. Here is our T-Mobile game changer. It has been Rick Porcello this year. He has really changed his game because his numbers are awfully good.
He should have made the All-Star team this year. And first in wins in the American League. Double play balls, 23 of those now. That is second in the American League. Complete games, a couple in the whip. Just a shade over 1.
Rick's numbers have always been good, but now they've taken that next step as he goes to the 4th against Martin Prado. Prado and then Ellsbury and then Beltran. These are the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in Joe Girardi's starting 9 today. Prado flat out his first time. He'll pop the first one back out of play. 0-1.
Prado loves to swing at the first pitch. Popped up on the first pitch his first time up, and in the series with regularity has swung at the first pitch.
He was the teammate over in Atlanta of McCann's and Teixeira. They both played with him. in Atlanta. And when he was acquired, they talked about his ability to play all the different positions. He'll drive this one to center field, and Ezekiel comes on and makes the catch. Carrera with a front sliding play this time.
Carrera's got a lot of speed, so even if he doesn't get the best jump, he can make up for it with that blazing speed that he has.
We'll bring up Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury fly to left. He is 0 for 1, and a lot of fly ball outs in this game for Porcello. Although he got the ground ball when he needed it off the bat of Brett Gardner in the third. Double play.
You sort of get the feeling that Porcello can throw a ground ball anytime he wants to because he's done it so much throughout his major league career, averaging nearly 2 ground balls for every fly ball.
What a tremendous weapon it could be, and it really short-circuited that third inning for the Yankees. They had 2 on. Ichiro had an infield hit. Ryan followed with a single, and then all of a sudden the double play ball, and the inning is over. 2-0 pitch, hammered to left field. Rajay Davis backs up. Another fly ball out, 2 away. We'll bring up Beltran. Well, it's been quite a career for Carlos Beltran. Former Rookie of the Year, but you got to go way back to 1999 when he won that award. They've got the shift on against him. Castellanos goes to right field, and he hits one the other way, but foul back out of play.
Only Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray, and Chipper Jones switch hitters that have hit more home runs than Beltran. He has 371 big flies.
The other thing about Carlos was he was a really good postseason performer. His average in the postseason, 333.
That one postseason he had with Oakland was ridiculous.
Well, Houston. The 16 home runs he's hit in postseason play in his career is pretty impressive, too. Porcello is ahead 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Carlos Beltran. Struck out in the second inning on 3 straight pitches. He caught him looking. That one bouncing in way in front of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Beltran. 8-time All-Star. This being his 17th year in the major leagues. And the 2-2. Slice to center, base hit. It's a 2-out single for Beltran. The Yankees have their 3rd hit.
One of the few mistakes that Porcello has made up in the strike zone. He got ahead of Beltran. No balls, 2 strikes. Then he throws him a changeup 2-2. And it stayed up. And real good hitters like Beltran, they're not going to miss these pitches. Porcello getting a chance to pitch in front of a lot of family and friends today, even though it's a day game. He is from nearby New Jersey.
Chase Headley looks at a strike. Well, it's a great reason to take a day off work. Come and see Porcello if you're a friend or a family member here at Yankee Stadium. He's hit 50 total pitches now.
Use one of those sick leave days.
Oh, no question. Develop a little cough. Not feeling real well today. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Might be a whole lot of folks who develop a little cough today. This place is packed.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's lifted back short, shallow left center, base hit. Beltran goes to second, and he just got back in there after a wide turn around the back.
That's a nice job there by Kinsler, sneaking back in behind Beltran just in case he rounded that second base bag too far, and they nearly got him. Nice effort here by Roman. Looked like he was going to have a beat on it initially, but wasn't able to get there. Once Rajay picked it up, he fired the ball to Ian. And Beltran able to get that left foot right back on the bag before the tag was applied.
Headley with a bloop single, and the Yankees now have a 2-out threat. Stephen Drew stands in. Ball one as Avila slides over to make the stop.
The Yankees believe they're going to get the best out of Stephen Drew this year. The Boston Red Sox signed him on May 29th. And he didn't play very well for them, but he was basically going through spring training when he spent time in their uniform this year. The Yankees feel like he's going to hit for power in this ballpark, and they feel like he's going to be a much better hitter than he was in Boston.
Swing and a miss.
It's a good changeup there at 82 miles an hour thrown by Porcello. That's one of the pitches that really helped him do a much better job against left-handers. Here's that frozen grip for you on that changeup.
Drew last year for the Red Sox hit .253, but hit with a little bit of power. 13 homers, knocked in 67 for the champs. That's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Really steady at the shortstop position.
He also made a brief stop in Oakland in 2012 for their stretch run after beginning his career with Arizona. Toward left field. Davis on the run, won't get it, drops in fair. Beltran will come in to score. It's going to be a ground rule double, and the Yankees have taken a 1-0 lead. So some tough luck for Porcello against the last 2 hitters.
That ball was just inside of the foul line down left field. Not much emotion there out of Porcello, nor does he ever show much emotion on the mound.
But the one crooked look that he had on his face said it all. Like, are you kidding me? Headley with a bloop single and Drew with a bloop double, and it's 1-0 Yankees. Now they have runners at second and third with 2 outs. We'll bring up Francisco Cervelli.
Yankees have a pretty good approaching today against Porcello. All the left-handers are trying to hit the ball the other way. Headley bloop single that way. Drew base hit in that direction. Beltran base hit right back up the middle.
And Cervelli looks at ball 1 inside. 1 run on 5 hits now for the Yankees.
The Yankees play so many games in this ballpark, and they have so many left-handed hitters. They know the opposing pitchers because of that short porch in right field, 314. They're not going to go inside all that often, so therefore a lot of their left-handers, they try to hit the ball the other way.
Skied in the air to shallow right center field. Carrera calling for it. And that is that. However, Yankees get a run on 3 straight 2-out hits. Firm official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. And by the new Chevy Silverado light duty and heavy duty lineup. Yanks on top 1-0 as we go to the top of the 5th in the series finale here today. By the way, it's time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Send on your photo to hashtag Detroit Fan Photo, and perhaps you'll have it shown on one of our upcoming broadcasts. Well, the Tigers trying to get the bats going. They've had some opportunities, but they just haven't come up with a big 2-out hit. We're in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. Mario and Demba alongside Rod Allen. Trevor Thompson with us on the trip as well. Chris Wazalewski is our producer. Mark Isofano is our director today from Yankee Stadium. Our one and only visit to this ballpark this year. Castellanos is 0 for 1, a strikeout in the second. He'll be followed by Avila and Romine as Shane Green goes against the bottom 3 in the Tigers lineup. Green got a double play in the third, and he struck out Kelly with 2 on in the fourth. First one is in there for a strike on Castellanos. Nick now 1 for 10 in the series, and really it's been up and down this entire Tigers lineup where they just have not been able to muster anything. 173 average coming in this series. Missed away, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2 now on Castellanos. Avila waiting on deck. Here's Green's 1-2. Just off the plate, 2 and 2. Green last year was the Yankees minor league pitcher of the year. He won 12 games at 2 different levels. In some ways put himself on the map last season. Castellanos took one close. Fill it now 3 and 2. Tigers 2 singles, 2 walks in this game. Hits for Martinez, Victor that is, and Nick Castellanos, or Kelly rather. Castellanos waiting on a 3-2, and down he goes. Well, that is 5 strikeouts now for the right-hander Green.
It's a 2-seam fastball, about 93 miles an hour. Castellanos swung right over the top of it. This much I can tell you about Green. He's not afraid. He's walking around that mound with a lot of swagger.
He really seems to have it, no doubt. I mean, this is only his 6th major league start. Here is Avila. Of course, Green got off to a really nice start this year for the Yankees. Pitched a couple of pretty good ball games right out of the chute coming up from the minors. He went 7 1/3 against the Orioles. 4 hits, no runs, and 9 strikeouts. That is his career high. He's got 5 so far in this game. And Avila takes a strike on the outer edge.
As a matter of fact, he is the first Yankees pitcher in franchise history to record at least 6 innings pitched and allow 4 or fewer hits in his first 2 major league starts. That's Yankee history.
Does it go back a ways?
That goes back a long way.
Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1 on Avila. The other thing Green does is work at a pretty good pace. He pretty much gets the baseball, checks his sign. Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball right side, cut off at first base by Headley. He'll take it himself.
You really got to applaud the job that Brian Cashman, their general manager, has done this year. When you lose these guys that they have lost this year, there are a lot of general managers that would just mail it in and start to look to the next year, but he has pieced this thing together. 26 players made their debut with the team. You talked about this earlier. 50 games started by a rookie, most in the majors. Up and down, Brian Cashman has just done a very nice job at putting a good enough team on the field to keep them in the hunt.
Nice to have that guy as a constant at shortstop.
Even on days that he doesn't play, he's on that top step. He is quite the leader.
Well, they are used to winning here, obviously. I mean, they've got 26 world championships overall, but in the last 19 years, they have missed the postseason just twice. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in for a strike. But I think you're right. I think there's a chance that that they could have just said, you know what, let's look toward next year. And missed outside.
Tigers have a couple of starters in their rotation that are going to hit the free agent market in the next couple of years. And do not think for one moment the Yankees do not have their sights on them too.
Here's the 2-1. Lifted toward left on a line, and a leaping play there by Gardner. By the way, short of the Yankees a world championship. They have 27. 1-2-3 go the Tigers. In the 5th inning. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire.
He's played so well offensively, career high 15 home runs. He's doing a nice job of driving in runs, but he's also made some really nice plays defensively. This was earlier in the series, sliding, making a really nice grab. Everything hit into the outfield. He and Jacoby Ellsbury, they just run it down. This is the play that he just made. That ball slicing over his head.
Looked like an extra base hit, perhaps off the bat, but not so. Porcello goes back to work, and a swing and a miss by Ichiro. Yankees on top 1-0. In the bottom of the 5th inning here at Yankee Stadium, Ichiro, then Ryan, and then Gardner facing Rick. Steps away from strike 2. Ichiro had a base hit his first time up. Swing and a miss, and Porcello got him to chase out of the strike zone. Rick has his 3rd strikeout. 1 away here in the 5th.
Nice job here by Porcello changing the eye level of Ichiro. Went downstairs with the first couple of pitches, then went upstairs with a firm 92-mile-per-hour fastball to get him to wave at it. Xfinity is telling us that the best fastball so far today that Rick has thrown has been 93. 74 with his curveball.
Here's Brendan Ryan, the Yankees' second baseman today. Rick throws another strike, 0-1. Porcello has given up 5 hits, 3 of those consecutively in the 4th inning. 2 of them were bloops, though. So they got a run. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, 2 bloops and a seeing-eye single earlier in the game off the bat of Headland.
The RBI to Stephen Drew, who dropped in a double just there down the left field line. 1-1 is tipped into the glove. 1-2 on Ryan.
Actually, that CNI single was Ryan that got that base hit between Castellanos and Romine. That was in the 3rd inning.
2-2 the count. It'll get foul back into the seats. Yankees coming into this one had won 4 of their last 5, and since the break they're 12-7.
And a lot of the victories that they've been getting are come from behind victories. They've got a good bullpen. They've got an outstanding bullpen. They have struck out more out of that bullpen than any team in the American League. They've got some arms down there.
Inside and high. On the surface, you look at the standings and you see, well, they're 5 games back. Here's what it looks like in the East. Toronto's ahead of them. Baltimore's ahead of them. But in the wild card, just a game out. That additional wild card spot has certainly changed the way teams look at the trading deadline now. 3-2, chopped to the left side of the infield. Running scoop there by Romine. Nice play. 2 up, 2 down. Well, as you know, the pennant race is on. If you place a deposit on 2015 Tigers season tickets, you'll receive 2014 postseason priority. Call 313-471-BALL or visit tigers.com if you'd like more information. Here are the wild card standings. So the Angels right now in command of the first wild card, then Toronto. KC a half back, New York, and Seattle 1 out. Certainly will add a lot of excitement down the stretch to quite a few more cities around Major League Baseball. There's a strike call. I have to admit, I never really liked the wild card to begin with. Then they added another wild card, but now you see what it does to pennant races and the excitement it creates.
That 1-game playoff game is the equivalent of a game 7. You win or go home.
No doubt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I remember that game that Porcello pitched in, was it 2009?
Minnesota,
game 163. Yep. That was one of the best baseball games I'd ever watched. I mean, the Tigers lost the game, but from a pure excitement standpoint, that game was a good game.
And I would submit that if we had instant replay back then, we may not have lost that game.
True that.
There were some questionable calls, and as Jim Leland will tell you, that went against the Tigers. Gardner is 0 for 2, hit a double play ball his last time up. Here's the 2-1 from Rick. Down the left field line, Castellanos and Romine chasing. And Castellanos almost got there. Speaking of Jim Leland, look who's hanging out in the seats.
Chilly these days, isn't it?
Do you think it's less stressful in that seat than the one that Ausmus is sitting in or standing near?
His wife Katie, right next to Jim. Jim might be doing a little managing from right there. That's a little bit too close to Mr. Ausmus.
You think he's kind of giving him some words of advice?
All tanned and everything.
Yeah, he looks like he's enjoying life now. Two, strike 3 call. Boy, Porcello has picked up another strikeout, his 4th, and 1-2-3 go the Yankees. So we'll go to the 6th. It is still 1-0 New York.
in the Bronx. The arrival of David Price on the mound for the Tigers. They had him for a week before they could trot him out there, and he was spectacular. 8 2/3 innings, did not walk one single Yankee. Had 10 strikeouts in the game, didn't factor in the decision, but the Tigers went on to win the game in 12 innings. It was a spectacular debut for the left-hander.
Well, Tiger starters this season, and you look at what Porcello has done. We've talked about that all day long. Price was having a tremendous year in Tampa before the Tigers got him.
Tigers the only starting staff in the majors that have 4 winners with 10 wins or more.
Just got to get those bats going today. They are down by just a run as we go to the 6th inning. Only 2 Tigers hits this afternoon. Top of the lineup coming up, Rajai Davis. And Ezekiel Carrera and Ian Kinsler. One run on 5 hits for the Yankees. The Tigers a run on, or no runs on 2 hits. The Yanks got their run to go ahead in the 4th inning. Rajai cuts and misses 0-1. Davis 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. Shane Green has looked good today for the Yanks. He's got 5 strikeouts in this contest. The 0-1. Ball inside. Bouncing ball left side, diving stop Prado from his knees, throws him out. Martin Prado, man, whoever's playing third base in this series, doesn't matter, they're making some play.
He was 5 steps in on the grass as well when Rajai hit this ball. A couple of steps and a dive, then he threw from one knee. And because he didn't have time to get up if he was going to throw Rajai out. The Yankees have made some nice plays in the series. I know they made 4 errors in last night's game, but other than those 4 errors they made, Jeter made a couple nice plays. Headley's made nice plays. Gardner, Ellsbury, they've played very well defensively.
Here's Carrera.
And when you add in the fact that the Tigers' bats have gone stone cold, you get a lopsided series. Yankees have won 2 of the first 3 games.
Only 2 Tigers hits in this one. They had just 5 hits in last night's ball game.
Tigers took batting practice on the field this afternoon too. This morning, I should say. Yankees did not hit on the field.
One ball, 1 strike on Carrera. And the numbers on Green, he's thrown 70 now, 44 strikes. He slaps one toward the left side of the infield. Nice play there by Drew, but he has no shot at getting him. That was more of a softball swing there from Carrera.
Well, that's like an Ichiro swing. It looked like he walked up like he was thinking about bunting and then just simply slapped the ball toward shortstop. He's already running out of the batter's box, which meant when he did make contact, it was going to be very difficult for Stephen Drew to throw him out. This takes tremendous amount of conversation. That is nicely done.
Good play there by Drew, but he had no chance.
Is Joe Girardi saying, or at least waiting for the replay to see if Carrera was out of the batter's box when he made contact with the ball?
Yeah, I think that's really his only argument right here, but I don't think he was.
Look at the head, though. I mean, his feet are moving, but the head stays still. And because the head stays still, directly down on the baseball, he's able to make contact with that ball and then beat it out. Now, those feet are still in the batter's box.
Here's Kinsler. That'll be just the 3rd Tigers hit in this game.
And Girardi's called for 1 pitch out in the game, in the series, and that was when Rajai Davis was on first base in last night's game, but Rajai wasn't on the move.
Told you that Carrera in the minor leagues stole a bunch of bases. In fact, he was leading the International League along with hitting 300 and hitting a few out of the ballpark. He also stole 43. Kinsler takes a strike, 0-1.
There's Tony Pena, former outstanding catcher, former big league manager. And he handles the running game for Joe Girardi. He'll flash the signs to Cervelli.
Good block at home plate by Cervelli, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
One thing about signs, though, that come from the dugout, it might be Pena that's going through the signs, but it might not mean anything. It might be Girardi standing there with his arms crossed. It could be McKellar there doing something. You don't necessarily, it's not necessarily the guy going through the signs that's giving them to the catcher.
Carrera gets back, spun his wheels a little bit, but got back in there in time. Shane Green has not pitched in too much stress in this game. But the tying run is on here in the 6th inning. Kinsler fouls it off. Here's what Carrera was doing down in Toledo in terms of running the bases. He had 43 steals in 56 attempts.
He is finding it very difficult to get a pretty good jump against Green. He wants to run. But Green utilizes that little slide step, which means Cervelli will have an opportunity to throw Carrera out if he's trying to steal a base here. Not going to get a great jump.
Lofted into right field. That's a base hit. Carrera's on his way to third. And he will get there easily. It's a bloop single the other way for Ian Kinsler.
The catcher Cervelli wanted that two-seam fastball, that hard sinker that Green has been featuring all night. He was thinking double play ball, but Green shook him off to a breaking ball, and then he hung it up there. And Ian Kinsler was able to get himself a bloop single. Tigers are now in business, 1st and 3rd. That ball was about 3-4 inches off the plate.
4th hit of the ball game for the Tigers. Tying run at third base now. Go ahead run at first. Here is Victor Martinez. Single and a ground out. Right now the Yankees playing for a double play ball. They will not employ the shift. Victor has now hit safely in 7 straight, trying to get a run in from third base with less than 2 outs. 1-0 Yankees. We're in the 6th. And Victor looks at strike 1.
Another reason why the Yankees not employing the shift that they usually do on Victor, and other teams do as well, is because Victor can simply take that two-seam fastball down and away from him and hit it down toward third base where there would be nobody standing.
These are the spots the Tigers have not excelled in this series. And with only 1 out, Martinez trying to deliver a big hit. Ground ball to second. There's a 4-6-3. How about that? A double play. Green gets a big one, his 2nd of the ball game, and the Tigers are turned away.
the shortstop, number 2, Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter's illustrious career winding down. Just a couple of months left in his career, and he sits right now 7th all time on the hit list. Thomas Wagner right in front of him. Jeter getting the day off here today. Porcello goes back to the hill as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Golden opportunity for the Tigers fizzles with the double play ball off the bat of Victor Martinez.
The Tigers will honor Derek Jeter on August 27th at 6:45 at Comerica Park. His final visit to Comerica Park. I'm sure they will shower him with lots of gifts.
As has every other team in which Jeter has made his final appearance in their ballpark. So your last chance to see Derek coming up later in the month of August. Martin Prado, the batter. That's in there for a strike. Prado, Ellsbury, and Beltran, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, facing Porcello, who got a 1, 2, 3, 5th. Rick has scattered 5 hits and certainly has deserved a better fate today, but still plenty of time to go in this one. It's a ball outside. 3-1 now on Martin Prado. Ellsbury on deck. Slowly toward third base. It's a fair ball. Castellanos not going to be able to get him. Infield hit. Some of these Yankees hits just didn't fit all that impressive today. It's some bloops.
And Castellanos was playing very deep at third base, and he waited about as long as he could wait, hoping that ball was going to go foul. Once he realized it wasn't going to go foul, he had to glove it, but that was too late to get Prado.
There's Jacoby Ellsbury.
No, they have not really been hitting the ball all that sharply today against Rick.
But a hit is a hit. And they had a bloop double by Drew to drive in a run back in the 4th. And that has been the only run of the game. Strike 1 on Ellsbury. Porcello has struck out 4 in this contest. They strung together 3 hits against him with 2 outs in the 4th inning. So they got their run. Slice to left, base hit. Ellsbury goes the other way, and the Yankees now have 2 on, nobody out.
I brought this up a couple of innings ago. The left-handed batters today going up against Porcello are making a conscious effort of staying inside the baseball. You can see Jacoby Ellsbury really pulling his hands first with the bat knob to get to the point of contact and then driving that ball the other way. If you don't have that approach against a guy like Porcello, you're going to hit lots of ground balls. He's gotten a few ground balls, but most of the balls that have been put in play against him today have gone in the air.
Yankees now have 7 hits. Here is Beltran with 2 on, nobody out. Porcello missed low and away. 1-0 on Beltran.
There was a time when Beltran had really good speed. He no longer runs the way that he used to run when he was younger. And therefore, double play in order here. If Porcello could get him to swing at one of those 2-seam fastballs down in the strike zone.
Single and a strikeout in this game for Beltran. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Kinsler has it. Flips to second. One spin move by Romine and a double play. Nifty turn at second base and a nice play by Kinsler as well.
Kinsler has been getting busy all series with his glove. Look at how quickly he gets the ball to Romine. Off balance, shuffling underneath. Romine really didn't know where the base runner was. Still able to turn it over.
That's the 9th double play that Beltran has hit into this season. So a 2 outs, man at third base. Here's Chase Headley. Way outside, 1-0. That is the second double play that the Tigers have turned coming into this game. Porcello had 22 turned behind him, which was the second most in the major.
He really needs to focus on Headley here. A lot of times you take a deep breath after you've gotten that double play ball and you have 2 outs.
Two 2-0. Headley had a single, one of the 3 consecutive hits back in the 4th the Yankees put together to score their run. His 4th hit in the series, homered last night against Verlander. Here's the 2-1. 3-1 now on Chase Headley. Stephen Drew waiting on deck. 1 run, 7 hits for the Yanks. The Tigers, no runs, 4 hits. We're in the 6th inning at Yankee Stadium, wrapping up a 4-game series. Drilled toward left center field. Carrera is on the move, and he'll get there for the out. So crisis averted. 2 leadoff hits to start the inning. Big double play ball started by Ian Kinsler. Right now the Tigers have not been able to do a whole lot against the Yankees pitching. Just 4 hits today. And here's our Comerica Bank game summary. Rick Porcello has looked good. He's got a couple of double play balls. Just 1 run allowed in 6 innings. Stephen Drew had a bloop RBI double in the 4th.
That's the story right there. Tigers 3 for 22 in this series with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that is not going to help you win many games.
And Green has gotten Joe Girardi, the manager of the Yankees, into an area where he is very, very comfortable these days with the back end of his bullpen.
They've got their closer available today, Robertson, Betances as well. They've been really good at the back end of the bullpen. So You get to the 8th and 9th inning, it gets awfully difficult.
That kid Betances we saw a couple of days ago has some of the most impressive stuff that we've seen this year of a young bullpen reliever.
Yet it is still only a 1-run game as JD leads it off and swings and misses. It'll be Martinez, Kelly, Castellanos here in the 7th.
And the Tigers have Miguel Cabrera on their bench.
Pretty good weapon.
Oh, the best weapon in the league.
Oh, 0-2 on Martinez. Ground ball to third. Gobbled up there by Prado. And JD is out. He is now 0 for 2 with a walk. One away here in the 7th. Here's Don Kelly. Donnie, with one of the 4 Tigers hits in this game, had a single in the 2nd. Struck out his last time. Chopper to second base. That's routine there for Ryan. And 2 quick outs. Now Castellanos.
2 outs on 4 pitches.
Man, Green's been good today. He's gotten a couple of double play balls.
Yeah, we can say what we want to say about the Tigers offense, and it has not been good in the series, but I'm not going to take anything away from Green. He's been dealing today. I'm going to give him his props.
Castellanos has had no success to this point. Couple of strikeouts against Green. And he takes ball 1. Nick trying to get something started here with 2 outs in the 7th. Tigers had their best scoring chance in the 6th. Runners at first and third, and Martinez hit into a double play. Strike call. 1-1. One and 2 now on Castellanos. Green in search of the 1-2-3 inning. He's had a couple of those today. He missed outside. Castellanos thought about it but did not offer. 2-2. It is on to Toronto next for the Tigers. They'll have a 3-game weekend series against the Jays. And then 4 games coming up against Pittsburgh, 2 on the road, 2 at home. Here comes the 2-2. Laid off again, 3-2 now on Castellanos. Here's the full count pitch. Missed it inside, and Castellanos works a walk. He was behind in the count. Now he's on base. Well, Saturday, MLB on Fox Sports 1 returns with a doubleheader as the Yankees face Michael Brantley and the Indians, followed by the Cardinals taking on the Orioles. Coverage begins at Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Keep the inning going now for Avila, who has a walk and a strikeout in this contest. Pitch count only at 87 for Shane Green. And Avila takes ball 1. Vila has 2 hits in the series. One, of course, the game winner. And the extra inning win for the Tigers a couple of nights ago. And he skies this one high in the air to left center. They stay in the ballpark. Ellsbury makes the play, and the Tigers are done in the 7th inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. Coming up, the Health Plus 7th inning stretch.
Throws tons of ground balls, but you take a look at all the swings that the left-handers are taking. It's a conscious effort to make sure they stay to the big part of the ballpark. Guys are late on swings. Guys are getting jammed. They are making that conscious effort of hitting the ball in that direction, and therefore they've had minimal success today, but they've had success.
Well, Porcello has gotten 8 fly ball outs, 6 on the ground, and 4 strikeouts in this game. And the Tigers offense hopefully can support him late in this contest while they have a chance. We're going on the field now. Let's check in with Trevor Thompson.
Mario, I had to lose the jacket and roll up the sleeves because it's hot down here on the field, and why not? It's the 7th of August. We're in the midst of the dog days of August, as they say. And I talked with hitting instructor Wally Joyner prior to the game. With all the swings the guys have taken from spring training, in the cage, batting practice, and through games up to this point of the season, it's time for them to take a little break. So he says he's got them taking fewer swings prior to games, just working on very specific things, then getting out of the cage and saving that energy for the games. Very important at this time of year to save that energy, get your mind and your body refueled, get a second win for a strong push through the end of the season in the midst of a pennant chase. So these guys will do a little less swinging this time of year as the dog days are upon us. We'll see if it pays off the rest of this road trip. Back up to you guys.
I got a question for you, Trevor. Can you hit?
These guys, no. Your pitches, probably.
Ooh, very nice. Thanks, Trev. Well, hopefully the Tigers bats will have some energy in the last couple of innings. Stephen Drew starts it off as Porcello goes back to the hill, and he delivers strike 1 to Drew.
I'd drill him.
Yeah, I know he would. Especially after that.
Yeah, I'd drill him. Right in the ribs.
You would not. You like Trev. You wouldn't drill him. 1 run, 7 hits. Yankees, no runs, 4 hits. Tigers. Drew takes the ball outside, 1-1. It's followed by Cervelli and then Ichiro Suzuki in the 7th. RBI doubled by Drew, the only RBI in this game for either side. Now Rick with the 1-1. And it's in there, a strike.
A nice curveball there thrown by Porcello at 76 miles an hour. He hasn't thrown many of those today, and really, he hasn't needed to throw the curveball that often.
90 now for Rick. Here's the 1-2. Fly ball. Center field playable. Carrera staring into the sun. One gone in the 7th. Here's Francisco Cervelli. Brian McCann getting the day off today. Cervelli getting the start behind the dish. McCann had a big home run in last night's game. Cervelli in this one is 0 for 2. Ground out, fly out.
McCann getting a little sun on his head today.
There's a strike called 0-1 on Cervelli. This is the 7th season for Cervelli in a Yankees uniform. Came in hot, 10 for his last 25, but he's 0 for 2 this afternoon.
That backup job, pretty good gig if you can get it.
That it is. That is pulled foul. McCann coming over to the Yankees this year.
He and Prado are reunited. They were teammates in Atlanta as well.
Two on Cervelli. One gone in the 7th. Bouncing in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Cervelli is toast. 2 gone. And so Porcello gets strikeout number 5 on the afternoon. He has pitched a whale of a game today.
A nice little breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, located in an area where Cervelli couldn't get to it. Down at the knees.
He had 10 strikeouts against the Rockies in his last start. First double-digit strikeout game of this year, and his career high was 11. He fell 1 shy of that. Ichiro steps away from strike 1. Single and a strikeout for Ichiro in this game. He'll slap that one fair down the left field line. Davis over there quickly, and Ichiro will stop with a single. Second hit of the game for Suzuki. He is 40 years old and still picking up base hits.
And he's got a lot of hits just like that.
Over 2,800 in the major leagues. Here's Brendan Ryan. There's the 8th hit of the ball game for the Yankees. Tried to bunt. That ball came up and in. He fouled it off. The Tigers in this game have had just 4 hits. And nothing of the extra base variety. Kelly a single. Victor a single, and base hits for Carrera and Kinsler. That has been it. Now the 0-1. Oh, we hit him square in the back and down Goes Brendan Ryan. Put 2 men on.
That fastball got away from Porcello right in the back of Brendan Ryan.
Bring Jeff Jones out, the Tigers pitching coach, right below the 1-7. And what it does is give the Yankees a 2-out opportunity now for their leadoff man, Brett Gardner, and in a 1-0 game. We'll see how big that hit batter turns out to be. Well, there's some action now in the Detroit bullpen. Phil Koch has begun to warm up. Two on and 2 outs here in the 7th. A single and a hit batter.
It's only the second batter that Porcello has hit all season. And he came into play today with 141 innings under his belt.
In there for strike 1 right at the knees. And so Porcello now has reached the 100 marker. Gardner a double play ball, fly ball, and a strikeout. Here's the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Tigers in the 8th inning will have Bromine, Davis, and Carrera due up. Porcello trying to make sure it remains a 1-run game. Yankees got their run in the 4th, and that's been it for either side. Way outside. Tigers have scored just 1 run in the last 15 innings in this series. They got a run in the first inning of last night's ball game, and that turned out to be it.
It may not be all bad for Porcello to go back upstairs with a fastball. Gardner, real good low ball hitter. 4-seam fastball, about 93 up top.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing in. 2-2. Should Gardner reach, Prado was on deck. Porcello had 10 strikeouts in his last start, yet he threw only 108 pitches to get through 8 innings. He's at 103 right now. And they have Ichiro and Ryan on the bases. The 2-2. Legal appeal did not go. 3-2. They will start the runners here. Bouncing ball off the glove of Porcello. Safe at second base. Romine has no play. He got there a little late, almost got the force. It'll be an infield hit for Gardner. That's going to load the bases. Again, another cheap hit for the Yankees.
Porcello got glove on the ball. He pushed it up in the air. Romine was right there, but he was not able to get to the bag before the base runner did. Therefore, infield single for Gardner. And Brendan Ryan, he had a big lead over at first base. Therefore, he was able to make it safely to second base. Also running on the play.
Ooh, man, was that close?
It was.
Don Kelly came to the mound to try and buy some time while the Tigers looked at that replay, and Brad Ausmus is deciding not to challenge. That's a hit. So now they're loaded up, and here's Martin Prado. He is a .291 hitter career with the bases loaded. And Porcello will throw from the windup. And it's in for strike one. Now quickly 0-2.
Let's take one more look at the play here. I'm wondering, after the ball was pushed up in the air by Porcello, if Romine simply grabs it and throws the ball to first base without trying to get to second, does he get Gardner at first base? After he tagged the bag and then tried to get the out over there, it was a little bit too late.
Oh, 0-2 on Prado. Suzuki, Ryan, and Gardner are the base runners. Here's the 0-2. Popped up. This will get back into the seats, though, down the first base line. Don't want to get to that guy, Ellsbury. He's waiting on deck. 1-0 Yankees have the lead. A two-out threat here. Single by Ichiro. Ryan hit by a pitch. Infield single by Gardner. And again the 0-2. Inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. .115, the most that Rick has thrown in a game this year. Here comes 110 in this contest. And a ground ball to short. Romine has it there. They'll get the force at second, and the threat is over. No runs. Hit batter, couple of hits. They leave him loaded. game here this afternoon. Tweet your photo to hashtag Detroit Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It is brought to you by AT&T. Lots of Tigers fans enjoying the week here in New York City as they are taking in some Tigers baseball against the Yankees. It's been awfully quiet, though, for the Tiger bats. They've managed only 4 hits in this game. They trail 1-0 as we go to the 8th. Romine Davis Carrera due up. 9 hits, meanwhile, for the Yankees, and they have managed only 1 run. They left the bases loaded in the 7th inning, keeping this one manageable for the Tigers. Hey fans, join us again tomorrow when the Tigers head to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. Our coverage begins at 6 with Tigers Live. That's Tigers Jays from Rogers Center at 6 o'clock tomorrow night right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Here is Romine, 0 for 2, double play ball and a fly out for Andrew. And then Rajai Davis and Ezekiel Carrera. So Shane Green goes back on top of the hill now. He has just thrown 89 pitches in this game, and Romine looks at strike 1. You got Prado coming in tight at third base after showing bunt. 4 singles for the Tigers offense in this game. That's been it. And Romine takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly ball, left field, straight at Gardner. Romine is out, 1 away. And he is 0 for 3 in this game. Bring him Rajai Davis. Meanwhile, Green has pitched in very little stress this afternoon. He's gotten a couple of double plays. Tigers, a couple of different times, put 2 runners on, but not able to cash in.
Now, the next out that Green gets, if he gets another out, it will be a career high. 7 2/3.
There it is. He was hit like a bullet, but right at Prado. That's how things have been going for the Tigers offense. When they hit it hard, it's at someone.
Got to have some quick reflexes to play third base.
2 gone for Ezekiel Carrera. Base hit, infield single his last time up. Ball 1 low. Phil Coates still throwing in the Detroit bullpen. He's been joined by Jabba Chamberlain. Fouled away, 1 ball, 1 strike on Carrera. Tigers have Sanchez in that game tomorrow night against Toronto to open up that series against the Jays. That one just missed. 2-1. Carrera trying to get it to Kinsler. And he fouls it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shane Green ready with the 2-2. Here it comes. Bouncing ball to first. Right at Chase Headley. And Green has himself an easy 1-2-3-8.
They've scored 1 run. The Tigers, they've been kept off the board. And here's the call of the game. It happened back in the 3rd inning.
Gardner would have to hit a ball sharply straight at someone to turn a double play. He runs well. Rick ready with the 3-1. Here it is. Ground ball to second. Kinsler to second one. Relay to first. He got the double play against Brett Gardner. 4-6-3. The 23rd double play turned behind Porcello this season, and this was a big one.
That was a big play right in the game for Porcello, getting the speedy Gardner to ground into a double play. Really nothing wrong with Porcello's numbers up and down. He didn't walk a batter today. He hit 1, gave up 9 hits, but really none of them hit all that hard. And 1 earned run.
5 consecutive starts now with at least 7 innings. Wallside windows pitching change, and Phil Koch is in.
And Phil Koch pitching in his 41st game for the Tigers. I mean, you throw out his first month of the year, and Phil Koch's numbers are pretty good.
Ellsbury leads it off here in the 8th. And he takes a strike on the inside part of the plate. That is 3 of the last 4 starts now that Porcello has not walked a batter.
Every time Porcello goes out to the mound this year, he has put the Tigers in a position to win the game. He did that today.
Tigers still have 3 outs. Right now it's a 1-run game. Ellsbury's 1 for 3. They'll chop it foul. The count goes 0-2. Not a whole lot of success against Koch. Matchup for Phil here. Tigers have Kinsler, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez when we get to the 9th. And, of course, Miguel Cabrera on the bench. The 0-2. Checked it. He went. Strike 3 called. Ellsbury is out, 1 gone. With the meat of the Tigers lineup coming up, David Robertson is warming up.
He looks like he's getting ready to come into a game in case Green gets in trouble. He doesn't look like he's warming up to come into the 9th. Unless it doesn't take him very long to get ready.
He's kind of leisurely, isn't he?
Well, I mean, there's already 1 out. I mean, you can get 2 outs in 2 pitches, and
right.
He wouldn't be ready to come in the game.
Here's Beltran. Tigers in this game have been out hit 9-4. Yankees have had plenty more opportunities, but they have scored just the 1 on a bloop double by Stephen Drew back in the 4th inning. Pulled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carlos Beltran. Single double play ball strikeout for the veteran designated hitter. Bouncing in and away from Avila.
There's Shane Green, who has pitched 8 innings. Staying warm in their dugout. What do you think? You think Girardi's going to send him out there for the 9th?
I would have initially said no way, but you're right. I mean, Robertson's not really heating up like he's coming into this game. Little chopper. Slowly toward third, Castellanos. He's out at first base.
Nice exchange there by Castellanos to get Beltran.
Two gone.
Do or die play. Able to scoop it up with the glove. Quick exchange to the throwing hand over the top. Lob over to Don Kelly. Nice stretch by DK.
Beltran not running all that well, and he is nipped at the wire. With 2 gone, here's Headley. 98 pitches for Green.
It appears that Joe Girardi is going to give an opportunity to pitch his first complete game shutout.
Ball one.
If the Tigers get one batter on base, he'll simply go to his closer. He will not put Green in a position to lose this game today.
Again, Kinsler, Martinez, and Martinez due up. Now the 1-0. Headley takes outside. Single and 3 at bats for Chase Headley. Tigers have not scored since getting a run in the first inning last night. That was the only run they got last evening and nothing today. Here's the 2-0. 3-0 on Headley. Well, we have a chance here. We check in with Trevor Thompson. Trev?
All right, guys, let's hope that Kinsler, Martinez, and Martinez can drum up a little offense in the top of the ninth. But regardless, after the game, it's Tigers Live with Mickey York and Craig Monroe inside the Coliseum studio. The two of you up in the booth to review this game and the rest of the series. I'll be inside the clubhouse to get player reaction. It's all coming up right after the game on Tigers Live, so stick around, fans. Back up to you guys.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Trev. Headley waiting on a 3-0 pitch. Koch has retired the first two batters here in the eighth. And Headley will take ball 4, so he is aboard on 4 straight. Second time he reaches in this game. Steven Drew.
Phil Koch, he walked Headley on purpose. He was not going to give Headley anything to hit with the left-hander Steven Drew. Standing in the on-deck circle, now standing in the batter's box. He was not going to get beat by the right hand.
Drew is responsible for the game's only run, a bloop double in the 4th inning down the left field line. That made it 1-0. It was his 6th RBI. Ball 1 missing away. Hope takes over for Porcello, who goes 7 strong in this game for the Tigers. Last time Porcello pitched fewer than 7 innings for the Tigers. You got to go back to July the 6th against Tampa. He went 5 2/3 in that game, and that was on the heels of back-to-back complete game shutouts. Here's the 1-0. Stays away. 2 balls, no strikes. And now here comes Jeff Jones again, the Tigers pitching coach. Is Albuquerque starting to warm now in case he is needed out of the Tigers pen.
That's why the visit as well, and by Jonesy to make sure that they've got Albuquerque ready should Drew reach.
Reyes on the Tigers bench. He would be available to pinch hit if needed. Two and 0. Off the end of the bat, 2 balls, 1 strike on Drew. Check it to make sure it's not cracked. Toronto is next on this road trip for the Tigers. 3 against the Blue Jays at Rogers Center over the weekend. Then it's on to Pittsburgh for 2. Coke struck out Ellsbury to start the inning, got Beltran to ground out, then he walked Headley on 4 pitches, and now he's gone 2-1 on Stephen Drew. And the 2-1. Pulled foul. Just outside of the bag at first. And so Headley heads back to first base.
And Mike Winters, first base umpire, getting out of the way, but yet got a pretty good look at it.
Crew chief Mike Winters. Breaking ball sweeps low and away, and Drew would not offer after it. Now it goes 3-2, and with 2 outs, that means the runner at first base, Headley, will be on the move. He'll get a Headley start. This is 3-2 from Coke. Swing and a miss, didn't matter. Struck him out. Couple of strikeouts for Phil. So we will go to the 9th. The Tigers need to run to tie. Kinsler, V-Mart, J.D. Martinez coming up. Here, they have not scored since the first inning of last night's game, and still out there is Shane Green. He's going to try and finish this one off.
Green's had a pretty good day. Overall, he has just really stayed out of the center of the plate. He had a real good 2-seam fastball in the very first inning at about 93, 94 miles an hour. He's maintained that same velocity, that same tilt on that pitch. Also a nice little cutter. Does not have much of a changeup. Therefore, most of the stuff that he featured today was hard stuff, but it was moving all over the place.
Well, if he wants to complete this one, he's got to get 3 more outs. Here are the numbers on Green. He's never pitched a complete game. This is just his 6th major league start. And Joe Girardi's sending the young man out there, and he will face Kinsler to start things off here in the 9th. And Ian swings and sends one to center field. Base hit on the first pitch.
That will end his day.
So with Robertson ready to go in their bullpen, he gave him a shot, but it didn't last very long.
Sparky Anderson, and when he managed the Tigers, something that he would do all the time. If someone was pitching a good game, he would let them go until a base runner got on base, and then he would simply take them all out to make sure they wouldn't lose the game.
He's going to get himself a real nice round of applause here. Sellout crowd.
47,000 here today.
Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back. Out of Shane Green today. He comes out after giving up the leadoff single to Ian Kinsler here in the 9th inning. Tying run is on in a 1-0 ball game. Miguel Cabrera still lurking on the Tigers bench if needed as a pinch hitter, but Victor Martinez due up, and he will face the closer for the Yankees, David Robertson.
David Robertson has 30 saves this year. He's only blown a couple. You can see he's a strikeout artist. 71 strikeouts in 42 games that he's been in this year. Only 15 walks.
Here's the amazing thing. In his last 34 games, he is averaging 16 strikeouts per 9.
And he pretty much gets it done with one pitch. I mean, it's not like Mariano Rivera, but he's got a nice cut fastball that he will put on display. And he will throw that pitch the majority of the time to get through this 9th inning.
Here is Martinez. Hit into a big double play back in the 6th with runners at first and third. Now he faces the closer, David Robertson. And the first one is outside. 1-0 the count.
Don Kelly due up third in this inning. If the Tigers do not hit into a double play, that will be the spot that Miggy hits in. It's funny how Miggy was sitting on the bench when we took that last shot of him, just joking and laughing. He's gone from smiling to getting prepared to pinch hit now.
One ball, no strikes on Martinez. Two 2-0 on Victor. Playing the shift on against Victor here with the leadoff single by Kinsler. fact, Kinsler swung at the first pitch from Green and slapped it to center field for a base hit. Here's the 2-0. Victor grounds it foul down the first base line. 2-1 on Martinez. J.D. Martinez waiting on deck. Quick move back, and back in there standing up is Kinsler. Only 5 Tigers hits in this game. Green goes 8+, 5 hits, no runs to this point, 5 strikeouts. Now the 2-1. Outside, 3-1 on Martinez. He has seen Robertson a little bit, 2 for 6 against him. Joe Girardi sent out Shane Green to try and get the complete game, but the first pitch through was hit to center field, so the closer comes on. Runner goes. It is outside, ball 4, and the Tigers have 2 men on now with nobody out.
Calling J.D. Martinez back.
And Cabrera's going to pinch hit for J.D. Martinez. With 2 on and nobody out. So here's Cabrera being introduced. And Miggy as a pinch hitter, well, he has excelled. He's 4 for 8.
For those of you wondering why he would pinch hit here, or for JD, it's the fact that Brad Ausmus wanted to make sure that if first base wasn't occupied, that they wouldn't walk Miggy. So he's taking his chance here to make sure that Robertson has to pitch to Miggy. They can't walk him intentionally. They could, but they won't.
So JD is out of the game.
And it made no sense to bunt the runners into scoring position because that would have vacated first base and they would have walked Miguel Cabrera.
Now Cabrera, who's been watching this one from the bench all day long, has a chance to make an impact here in the 9th. Single and a walk, and the Tigers have 2 on.
He is 1 for 5 in his career against Robertson with 1 strikeout.
Checked it, went around, strike 1.
Threw 5 straight fastballs to Victor Martinez in the first pitch to Miguel Cabrera, breaking ball down out of the strike zone.
1 for 9 in the series for Cabrera. He did walk a couple of times in last night's game. He has an RBI, batting .310 on the year. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. Oh, and 1 on Miguel Cabrera. Now Miggy steps out. Game of cat and mouse going on. What's happening here?
Well, Miggy steps in the batter's box and he's not quite ready to. And Robertson is getting ready to quick pitch him, so Miggy continues to call timeout.
The 0-1.
Where was that?
Whoa.
Thank you very much.
One ball, one strike. Joe Girardi wants to know the same thing. Where was it?
And Mark Wegner is the home plate umpire. I guess it was low.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. They might get two out of this. There's one. There's two. A double play. Ryan hits the bag for one. And now with 2 outs, the tying run stands at third. Well, that's not a good exchange for the Tigers. Cabrera hits into a double play, and it's going to leave it up to Don Kelly.
It's the third double play the Tigers have hit into today. And Joe, who dodged the bullet.
For the time being, we'll see what Kelly can do now. 1 for 3 in this game. Crowd's starting to get into it now with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. One run, 9 hits Yankees, no runs, 5 hits Tigers. Kinsler is the tying run, standing at third. Sellout crowd of more than 47,000 here today. Bouncing in and stopped by Cervelli, keeping Kinsler at third. Kelly waits on a 1-1. In there for strike 2. The Tigers now down to their final strike. Otherwise, they drop 3 of 4 to the Yanks. Here's the 1-2. Oh, man, Cervelli gave up his body there.
Nice block by Cervelli. Outstanding block by Cervelli.
That thing had tie game written all over it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kelly trying to tie it up here with 2 gone in the 9th. 1-0 Yankees. The crowd to its feet. 47,013. Soft line drive back up the middle and caught by the shortstop Drew. And the Yankees hold on to beat the Tigers today 1-0. They got a run in the 4th, and the Tigers in the last 2 games in the series scored just 1 run. We'll be back to Yankee Stadium.